National Kidney Foundation is one of the most well-known charities. Established in 1969, NKF is a non-profit organization that provides dialysis treatment and rehabilitation care to kidney failure patients.
When I first joined NKF, I was in organ donation public relation department. After the switch from organ donation department to care and counseling department, I was sent for training in social work studies under Monash University.
NKF had an annual turnover of around 160 million, all of which came from charity donations. Also, they had attracted donations from 2 out of every 3 Singaporeans. The annual NKF charity fundraising TV shows, often featuring celebrities, were popular among the population. The scandal started in April 2004, when the Straits Times, the leading newspaper in Singapore, published an editorial which raised questions about NKF operations. Durai, proceeding over this empire from the 12th floor of a $21 million building, was the chief executive of one of the largest and most popular charities in Singapore. NKF filed a defamation suit against the newspaper. Over the course of the next 2 days, numerous scandals discoveries were made, detailing the lack of transparency and accountability as well as financial mismanagements. Duray withdrew his lawsuit at day's end. Indeed, the lawsuit was not defamatory.
Former National Kidney Foundation CEO T.T. Duray was released from jail this morning after serving 2/3 of his 3-month sentence. He walked out of the Queenstown Remand Prison at 10:43 a.m. and was greeted by his son before leaving in a car. Duray started his jail term on June 10th and was released early for good behavior. He lost a civil suit filed by the NKF's new leadership last February and was ordered to pay $4 million in damages. He has paid $1.4 million so far. Duray appealed against his conviction and sentence but was turned down.
The NKF's image as an innovative, forward-thinking, and above all, effective charity had been thoroughly mangled. Thousands canceled their donations. Vandals spray-painted liars and graffitis across NKF's headquarters. Also, internet forums erupted. Singapore's health minister had announced the resignation of Duray and the entire NKF board. Also, the plan revolved around 2 huge questions. How do we ensure continued patient care? And how do we reclaim public trust in the moral authority to ask for money? The first question is actually largely dependent on the second. In a statement, they pointed out that there were kidney patients in need of donations, whose lives depended on the service provided by NKF. He also emphasized that the livelihood of doctors, nurses, and staff also depended on the donations received by NKF and asked for moral support. In other words, the scandal should not diminish contributions to charity or disrupt patient care. As for the second question, in order to regain confidence, he announced the installment of a new board. The chairman and CEO, Mr. Gerard E., and the other board members were chosen because of their reputations for integrity and compassion. Highly regarded within the community, these members would begin the healing process. He then cited the need to address the public unease and discreet over allegations of the questionable practices and inappropriate spending of charity funds. To do so, the NKF conducted and continues to conduct reviews of spending. The NKF, however, they failed to address one huge problem, the future. The questions posed to these organizations by the future, questions that NKF will inevitably face and for which they appear grossly underprepared, have been foreshadowed in the NKF scandal in 2 ways. First, in the greater symbolism attached by the event by the Singaporean community, as well as the source of the problem and public response. the means by which the board members were brought to resignation, the means by which the public demonstrated their distrust. It is a mistake for the NKF to ignore the greater symbolism and magnitude of this event within Singapore. In this scandal, in which Singapore citizens were forced the resignation of the board of the largest government-backed charity, People Power was successful for the first time. As a surrogation situation, this has huge ramifications. The means of expressing that power, the Internet, is not going away. In fact, it will spread. They wholly ignored one of the most fundamental characteristics of the Internet community, anonymity. The NKF must incorporate a more direct approach and greater understanding of the Internet and its effects in their business plan. The NKF must increase security in all computer systems